Yeah, we got to get into some stuff here, and I want to set this topic up with this. Yeah. Tyvis was at practice yesterday. He was at the first day of mandatory minicamp for the Cleveland Browns, and I read this on the air yesterday.
Yeah,
Tyvis
is officially taken over the title as the Duke of Niger.
He was skipping, he was hopping, he was dancing.
The reaction from you think
what?
You would think that a former professional football player
There you go.
Wait a minute.
would not overreact to a practice.
Hey, it's different though.
We're not talking about a game.
We talk about practice.
We're talking about practice.
Listen.
So he sent us, Tyvis, before you go real quick, I need everyone to understand exactly what you said, and then you could defend what you said, and we got videos. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But Tyvis sent us 4 texts in a row while we were on the air. Steve, you can take 194 full here. Here are 2 of them that I want to read. These are 4 quote, spelt exactly how Tyvis texted the group chat in reference to the Browns offense and especially Deshaun Watson. Quote number 1, the offense lock TF, we all know what that stands for, in today with 3 exclamation points. And the second one, and I want to emphasize this, Deshaun looked better than Brady right now, and I am not over-exaggerating.
Wow.
Real text.
That's exactly that is the definition of exaggerating right there.
I said what I said, and I mean what I say.
God.
Listen, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
Well, congratulations to Deshaun for, in a practice with no pads and nobody trying to tackle you, that you look better than Tom Brady.
Listen. This is the thing, okay?
Talk your stuff, man. Talk to him.
Right, so
talk to these people.
This is what I got to say about it, all right? Do I understand that it was practice?
Yes.
Absolutely I do, okay? Do I understand? Let's take it even a step further. Do I understand that half of this was 7-on-7? You know, there wasn't even a pass rush there.
Yeah.
Absolutely I do. But the point that I'm making is this. Him and Kevin Stefanski, this whole offseason was talking about getting on the same page. We're going to run plays that Deshaun Watson want to run, okay? Right. If he doesn't work, we're going to get rid of it, all right? So they've had OTAs for, 3 to 4 weeks maybe, whatever it was. That's the trial and error. By the time minicamp comes around, now you got to have something concrete. You got to have something to go into these next 6 weeks that the offense or defense is something to be excited about. So they have yesterday, watching that man practice, it was one ball that I seen go on the ground, and it was because G-New broke up a pass in 7-on-7. Outside of that, team period, regular 7-on-7, red zone 7-on-7. He completed every pass except for just one yesterday. So that speaks volumes to me because it shows that the trips to Puerto Rico and all that, the chemistry is there. And it's not like these guys was just flat out wide open. Some of them were blanketed coverage, and yet he still trusted his guys enough to throw the ball in there. No,
and that's
huge.
But
compared to what was used to be in Berea. Have you ever heard of somebody saying a quarterback looked better than Tom Brady in Berea ever? No.
Listen.
No, you haven't. You have.
We haven't.
Okay, thank you.
But what we have heard is year after year, Homer beat reporters, and I know you're not a Homer, but we've heard Homer beat reporters tell us this guy's great and that guy's great. Listen, I'm with you. I think Deshaun Watson's going to have a good year. I think he's going to bounce back. I'm glad he looked good in practice. That's positive, yes. But we got to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
it's easy.
You can take it with
yes, if he looked like crap, which he did a few weeks ago, that would be bad.
And that's what everybody was saying.
And that would be bad. And it's good. I'd rather him look good than bad. I'm with you. But you got to take it with a grain of salt. It's easy to look good when you have no threat of getting hit.
What's wrong with him looking? What's wrong with anything that I said?
Well, comparing to Tom Brady is silly because you basically
in practice, has Tom Brady ever had a game where he only threw one incompletion and threw
wasn't a game.
And threw 8 touchdowns?
It wasn't a game.
Have you ever heard of Tom Brady in practice?
Insane.
Have you ever heard of Tom Brady in practice
Tyvis.
going 100%, going 99%
I don't
with 8
know,
touchdowns?
and I don't care because it doesn't matter.
You haven't.
It doesn't matter.
I doubled down. I tripled down on what I said.
You just compared Tom Brady in a game to Deshaun Watson in a practice. Think about what you just said there.
No, I said in practice. Have you ever heard of a Tom Brady?
Who's paying attention to Tom Brady in practice? Who cares?
See, Tom Brady cares.
See what you guys is missing is this,
what
man.
Are we missing?
He's using Tom Brady as the standard. the standard of what a quarterback, a traditional quarterback is in the league is Tom Brady. Can you stand? Can you deliver? Can you make your reads? Are you on time? Do you throw a catchable ball? Are you converting touchdowns instead of field goals? So when he's saying he looks like Tom Brady, he's saying he is the standard of what a great pocket passer looks like, of a guy that is coming around and is starting to hit his stride. Now I'll compare this right here. And you like baseball, right? You obviously you love baseball and you're very knowledgeable of it. Why do they always mention rehab starts, right? Why we mention rehab starts with McKenzie or whoever? Right. If you got a starting pitcher, they tell you on the radio, McKenzie has a rehab start against Buffalo or Wichita, and they'll tell you what day it was. And then after he pitches in that start, they'll tell you, doesn't seem to have any ailments afterwards, body's feeling good, went 5 2/3 innings, strike out 6 people, right? Mm-hmm. Now that's a professional athlete. He's supposed to strike out minor leaguers.
Right, but that's still not the same as a practice where there's no threat.
Well, here's the thing.
In a game, a quarterback knows he can take a hit. In a practice, he's not going to take a hit.
Well,
it's not the same.
But when you're a pitcher, guess what happens? That game don't count.
Of course it doesn't. So we don't make too big a deal about it.
But they always mention it, though.
We mention it.
He looks good in the rehab start. So he mentioned Deshaun Watson looks good.
Fine, but I got no problem with saying he looks good. That's great.
So what part is it that's really?
It's the Tom Brady comparison.
Why is that?
Because it's ridiculous.
He looked really, really unbelievable.
Was a practice.
Boy, out of 10 passes, 8 of them, not 9. 8 of them went for touchdowns.
Tyvis.
9 of them was completed.
Tyvis.
1 was incomplete. How is that not Tom Brady?
Don't you think that there were 15 quarterbacks in minicamp, 20 that played as well
No,
as
I
that?
don't. No, I don't.
Come on
I
now.
do not. Why? Because I don't see it.
Ultimately, it doesn't mean anything.
It
does.
doesn't
mean anything.
It means
doesn't.
What the takeaway is this, Bull, is that Kevin Stefanski and Deshaun Watson are on the same page because Kevin Stefanski is calling the plays.
One practice doesn't prove that. Bull. It doesn't prove it.
What have we been hearing about him in practice up until
yesterday? That he's been playing poorly.
Okay,
Let me
so
ask you
what
this.
does that mean?
If he has a bad day today, does that mean they're not on the same page anymore?
No.
Okay, so we can't. All I'm saying is don't overreact to it. That's what we do all the time here in training camp and mini camp is we overreact to it. I'm with you. Thumbs up that Deshaun Watson played well. I'm glad he played well. It's a positive. But I can't go over the top of it.
My job was to observe practice yesterday.
Observe and report.
And I reported what I saw.
You're getting poisoned by all the homers you're talking to.
You're mad at me because,
I'm not mad at you at all.
On the day that I decided to go to, he looked like Tom Brady. Like that's the best way I can describe it. That's the best way I can describe it.
Deshaun Watson hasn't done anything that matters for 2 years.
Oh my God.
We need him to do it on the field.
I get that you want to keep your feelings reserved, and it's a lot that comes with it because at the same breath, I didn't think the defense looked that great yesterday. So, in this thing, if they want to go where they
say, I don't really care. I don't really care.
Why is that?
Because it's practice.
Why is that?
Because it's practice.
Oh, bull.
Here's what we're missing.
Yeah.
The hyperbole of Tom Brady, you know, throw some people off, right? You know, it's a headline. Yeah. People click on it. It's a little bit, okay, Tom Brady, I get it.
Didn't everybody else start saying Tom Brady?
But everybody else.
Did they really?
He poured the Kool-Aid.
Did they really?
And they followed him right on down. It was hot outside in Berea. It was cold and it was thirst quenching. And I saw person after person just follow the Pied Piper. I said, dang. Somebody said, our own Daryl Ryder says, I know it's practice, but I'm going to tell you what. I ain't never seen a quarterback throw like this in a practice in Browns history. I've been here years.
See, it's the sad state of affairs.
You're hilarious.
As someone that covers the Browns, it's a sad state of affairs. The fact that we would write hyperbole about a mini camp practice is freaking sad.
How is that sad?
It's sad because it just shows how low our bar is.
It is.
to get excited about a practice.
No.
I will be excited when Deshaun Watson plays on the field.
You're missing.
I can be optimistic about it.
You can be. I think you.
We haven't even got to the craziest thing you said yet.
What did I?
Which was the DeAndre Hopkins comment.
We'll get to that. We're going to get to that.
We're
going to get there.
Wait a minute.
We're working our way up. We're at about a 4. We're going to get a 7.
I'm confused of why you upset with me.
I'm not
all
upset
I
with you,
did
Tyvis. I'm
was
not upset.
we reported what we saw
I
in
love
practice.
You. I love you, and I'm not upset with you. What I'm upset with
is that I led a train.
Is you led a train of sheep that every year, my man Daryl's a friend of mine. I love him. I love Mary Kay. I love them all.
Piper.
All right?
He was.
But every year, they pick a couple of people. I was pulling a Joe Sharp over here.
Denise is back.
Yeah. Every year they pick a couple of people. This is the best ever. The Browns have never. Of course, the Browns haven't had a freaking quarterback since Bernie Kosar.
Oh my!
Who'd you think was going to look like that in practice?
You know what?
Brandon Whedon.
You know what it is with you?
Johnny Manziel.
You know what it is?
Yes.
You have been let down by this franchise so many times.
No. I haven't.
That it's excited.
I haven't because I've been mostly reasonable about expectations for the Browns. I got carried away 2 years ago after they made the playoffs.
What did you say?
I thought they'd take it a step further with Baker, and obviously he played like he really is.
So that's why you got beef with him. Because he made you look
No.
good.
I don't have beef with him. I don't really have beef with him. I just don't like him. I think I don't like people that are arrogant when they're not very good.
So, but you want Deshaun Watson to play like that on the field.
I want Deshaun Watson to play great, and I think Deshaun Watson is by far more than capable of playing great than any quarterback the Browns have had. I'll take it a step further. In the history of the franchise, I think he's the most talented quarterback they've ever had.
So why is it asinine for me to say what I said?
The only thing that's asinine is to use Tom Brady as a comparison. That's it.
Oh my God.
The rest of what you said is perfectly fine.
So what if I said Joe Montana?
It doesn't matter. You shouldn't compare a guy in what a guy does in practice to a great player.
Who's a
Period.
guy? Who's a guy that was a great quarterback that didn't win a ring?
Dan Marino.
Dan Marino. What if I said
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The point is, guys got to prove it on the field when it matters in a game.
I'm with you 1,000%. But
I just can't get carried away.
Wait a minute. Do you know that what you do in practice translate to the game? Did you know that?
I get it. But it's all part of the building process, right?
All right. So what I seen yesterday was a great building block,
and that's fine. And if
you know how he got out there and said, "I just want to get 1% better." Well, GD he did yesterday,
and that's good.
He for 1,000%.
And I'm on board with that. And
he might have got 2% better yesterday.
Let me ask you a question. Because here's the thing. When we're like, this is, and I always tell people, like, look, I'm the Duke of knee jerk, right? And sometimes I can be angry and mad, and I can go the opposite way and be like, I don't care what y'all do. I need to see y'all win. Y'all came in last place last year. But is it truly, I guess, is it reasonable to think that fans don't think that way? Like, as a fan, you're emotionally tied to the team. You want your team to win.
Yeah.
Any positivity you see from them, you're going to take and put that in the bank.
And that's fine. And I'm all about, I got no problem being positive. I feel positive that Deshaun Watson practiced well. I was concerned a couple of weeks ago. I had some slight concern that he would look like crap. I'm feeling good. But I can't turn when he practices poorly into this is the end of the world.
Well, see, I never
Or when he practices great to this is the best thing ever.
That's not like I said.
But when you bring up Tom Brady, it makes it
that's
seem
your
that way.
problem right there. Just because he had a Tom Brady day. What's wrong with that?
Because you can't.
Why can't you have? Why is it to you seem impossible that you could go out there and for one day of practice be like Tom Brady?
Because
why is that impossible?
Because to me, you can't be Tom Brady in practice.
Why can't you?
Because
for a day, one day, I was the. Listen, that's why you choking right there. Because you know that I'm right.
Watson is Tom Brady.
No, I'm right.
Because just comparing anything in practice to a game just doesn't make any sense to me. But I don't want to harp on that. The bottom line is, yes, I feel good that he practiced well. I'm glad you are excited about what you observed. I know that one of our fellow colleagues said that he's changing his opinion on how good Deshaun Watson can be based on practice. That's just silly. That's just silly. It doesn't make any sense.
When you watch Deshaun Watson and you watch the Browns and whatever they're doing out here, Tyvis is right. Just to give you an inside look.
Oh, thank you.
You build those habits in practice, right? You build chemistry in practice. You build all of that stuff, the routes, the communication. Unless you practice, and one of the things that I think was missing with Deshaun Watson is he didn't practice. He wasn't there for like 11 weeks. He wasn't throwing the receivers. He wasn't doing any of that. He was working with himself on the side. He didn't know the playbook, none of that. So I think it's a bit unfair. Like I was talking to somebody and they said, G. Bush, why does it seem like the fans gave Baker Mayfield 4 years of reasonable doubt? And still was supporting him after he left here, even after he showed you wasn't no good. But you got 6 games with Deshaun Watson. You got people in the media writing him off after he didn't play for 2 years. Why is that? I said, look, there is a part of our fan base that Deshaun Watson is going to have to overkill it. He's going to have to he's going to have to make it to the playoffs. He got to get to the second round. He got to break the sequence.
Well, that's because of the trade.
That's not the only difference.
That's because of the trade.
There's a variety of differences. You gave up a ton to get him, okay? Baker, for all his flaws, and you know how I feel about him, played well right off the bat when he came in for Cleveland.
Yeah,
he played well.
He did.
Yeah.
And the Browns had nothing but shit quarterback play for years.
Okay.
So Derek Anderson didn't take him 10-6?
That was
a long time ago.
That was 07. Was you in middle school? That was middle school.
I was.
That was a while ago.
But here's the thing.
I mean, our fans got excited about Brian Hoyer for a month.
But they paid. Listen, we paid a lot for Baker. We 1-31 got us Baker.
Yeah.
We paid with skin.
But I hear you. But he played well right away.
He did.
There's none of the off the field stuff.
Yes.
The bottom line though is, if Deshaun Watson goes out there and plays like we all think he's capable of, when it matters in the regular season, then 99% of people are going to jump on him.
Well, I'm glad that you said that, because that brings me up to my next point that you just thought was asinine. You can't believe that I would even fix my mouth to say that they should keep DPJ and not DM.
Why does it have to be one or the other, by the way? Why do I have to get rid of
I don't espouse to that.
I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm going to tell you why. Because bringing in D-Hop, he's going to start.
Yes.
Which means DPJ is what? Not going to start.
Correct.
He's a substitution.
Okay. This is his contract year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He won't make no money.
So?
He's going to ask for a trade.
He's in no position to ask for anything.
No, he's agreed.
What do you mean he's in no position?
What kind of power does he have?
Zero.
He just had a pretty productive season.
He's a 6th-round pick.
So
I'm
what?
with Tyvis. Tyvis is right.
Listen.
You guys are out of your mind. He
Are
has
you
no
serious?
power whatsoever.
He would, if I was him, I would 1,000% request a trade.
Yeah. And
Because
no
you know why? I only
ass.
got one chance to hit a bag in this league. And you think I'm not going to hit the bag because you're going to make me
say ask for a trade, and he may ask for a trade.
Oh, he's going to.
But they're not going to trade him because
they will.
They won't.
Yeah, they will. Because if you want to do right by somebody and you know you're doing wrong by
Kareem Hunt
doing
wanted
this.
to be traded. The Browns didn't trade him.
You know what? Watch
He
this.
wasn't going to get nothing for
Kareem
him.
Hunt's a more
There's people out there that would
Watch
take
this.
DPJ as a receiver.
Jim Schwartz was sitting here talking about, they asked about Greg Newsome in the corners and Denzel Ward and Emerson, and they asked him about Greg Newsome and whether or not he's going to be switching and how you keep people happy. And he said, first of all, I don't want to alarm you. I think Greg has done everything we've asked him to do. He's been a solid citizen. I don't got no complaints. But he then followed it up and said, but that's not our job. I don't care how they feel.
Yeah.
Our job is to put the best team on the field
That's
that the
fine.
Cleveland Browns can do.
That's fine.
And that's it.
So let me
How many
so let
teams
me
is
tell you.
Donovan Peoples-Jones starting for?
How many teams?
Yeah. Can we name any?
Yeah.
Oh, he would
Houston,
definitely-
Houston
he'd be-
Texans.
He'd be the best receiver on the Giants.
Houston Texans.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
Yes, he would. Listen, this the thing.
What did the Giants got?
They
No, but
got
that's the thing.
Donovan
Sterling
Peoples-Jones
Shepard,
put up some
Wandale
massive numbers
Robinson.
that I'm unaware of.
No. This is what we
For
call
a number 2 receiver to have 800 yards,
That's not impressive.
That's pretty good.
It's not.
And
What do you think a number 2 receiver is supposed to have?
On good teams, he has 1,000 yards or 900.
All right, name me two teams where they both receivers had
Bengals and
1,000.
Dolphins.
Did the
Dang,
Eagles
dog, that was quick.
Did T. Kiggins have 1,000?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay, name me a third.
Goalpost
Name
moving.
me a third.
He had more yards than anyone on the Giants
But-
by 150 last
but-
year.
Wait a minute. Name me a third.
Let's see. Dallas.
No,
No, heck no.
I'm on the leaderboard right now.
Seattle.
Seattle at 2,000
I don't
yard
think they had
receiver.
2 with 1,000.
Yes, they did. Go check
Oh
it.
yeah, Lockett had 1,033.
Yeah, you know.
Thank you.
That's
Side-
three.
I see what side
Did the 49ers? Did the 49ers have 2?
There is
Three?
another team. It is not the 49ers. There is another team there.
Is it the Eagles?
Yes.
Oh, Eagles. Yeah.
Eagles. There it
Well,
is.
there's another team then.
Dang. Well,
The Chiefs? No. There's
No.
no Chiefs. Bills?
No.
Vikings?
NFC team.
NFC.
NFC South team.
South.
Oh, Tampa Bay.
Bingo.
now here.
Well, they was good. They was throwing the ball 60
Donovan,
times
and
a
how many
game.
touchdowns Donovan Peoples-Jones have?
He
3?
had 3.
Three.
I mean, come on.
and
He's just a guy.
So you telling me right? All right. I'm glad
Where
you
did
said.
he rank in
let me
receiving yards?
let me paint you this scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. The season, 17 games is long.
Yeah.
You agree, right?
Okay.
Injuries is a part of this game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So say somebody for the Browns just decided to, they went down, and
Yeah.
now we need to replace him, and they say we'll give you. Let's say linebacker for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
We'll give you a linebacker, but we want DPJ. He becomes a very nice trade asset.
In
doesn't
that
he?
situation, but I'm
All
not
right,
going to.
that's fine.
I'm not going to trade him
Oh, yes, you
for
are.
a draft pick.
Why would you
No,
not?
because
I
this-
want depth at the
b-
position.
You have none anyway.
See,
This is the-
Wait,
go
y'all kills me.
Bottom
because
line.
This is the same. Y'all the same people that sat up here and told me if Amari Cooper go down, y'all not okay with DPJ being a 1. Did y'all say that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now all of a sudden you want to keep a guy that's not even going to be considered a 1.
I'm greedy. I'm.
What do you? Wait, so
I'm
now
greedy.
he a threat now. So now he all of a sudden is a
I'm-
threat.
I'm
He's
greedy.
an okay player. He's better than the alternative.
Here's what
Y'all sick,
here's what you
man.
got.
I
Here's-
don't understand.
Here's what you got to get. I'm not giving. I'm not giving no players away.
So you telling me right now that y'all two is gonna keep this man hostage so he can't
Why
get paid?
is it hostage?
How's he gonna get paid, bull?
It's up to him to figure that out.
That's best, y'all. Woo,
If he's good
y'all.
enough, he'll get paid whether he gets a ton of targets or not. Christian Kirk got paid by Jacksonville. He hadn't done anything in Arizona.
Nothing. He was the number 3
Jacksonville was
receiver.
desperate too.
That was actually
So some team will be
it's a-
desperate.
Are they?
Yes.
Well, that is
Tyvis, that's not-
right there was the most. What's the word I'm looking for? Where it's just way
And
out.
it worked.
What
It
was
worked
the
'cause he
way?
played great for them.
It was the way out.
Tyvis,
Like that's
two things.
that's an outlier.
Number
That's the
one,
word. That will
no
never
offense to
happen again.
DPJ, I don't care about his money.
Clearly, you don't.
Just like I shouldn't care how much he makes, and I don't. I don't care if he makes $1 billion. I don't care. My job is not to be worried about how much money he's making. Neither is the Browns. The Browns' job is to win. The AFC is loaded, is it not?
Yes.
The best teams in this conference have great pass catchers.
Yep.
I'm not in the business of giving up a player, but the bottom line is, you and Nathan Zagura and the rest of these guys can say, "Wow, I don't know if DeAndre Hopkins is better than the guys we have here."
Stop.
Have you lost your mind?
Wait a minute. I never said that. That's not what I said.
Somebody
First of
else said
all, can we pull what I said verbatim? What I said? Because
tweet? Yeah, give me one second. I'll
Because
put it in
that's
the tag board.
what I said was.
Yes.
I
Give me-
have been
Who's
on.
better,
hold
DeAndre
on.
Hopkins, Donovan
No,
Peoples-Jones?
let him
DeAndre
be.
Hopkins.
Let
That's the end of the
him
conversation.
be
It's
clear.
not the
And
end.
Yes, it is.
give me your stance on the CJ. We're gonna hear it from the horse's mouth. What is your stance on DeAndre Hopkins?
So my stance is, all the way up until yesterday, I have been pro DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Okay. I said 1,000%.
Yeah.
He's a better number 2 than Donovan Peoples-Jones would be. Correct. And that's facts.
Yeah.
Okay. What I said was, after watching practice yesterday, I am now on the fence of where if they want to go get him, fine. If they keep the receivers as is, they will still be fine, in my personal opinion, because these guys was
But
out
it's
there
not
making
good enough
plays.
to be fine.
What do you
It's
mean?
not good enough to be fine.
It's not. Why
playing
is it
in
not?
it.
They literally made plays yesterday.
Tyvis,
Is that not the name of the game?
You are going to have to beat, if the Browns make the playoffs, you're going to have to beat, most likely, at least 2 of the following 3 teams, if not all 3. Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Are those teams proven?
yes.
Yes.
Are those teams much more accomplished?
Not Buffalo, maybe not, but yeah.
At least they've gotten the AFC Championship. They're more proven than the Browns.
Yes, they are.
Okay, well, I give you
All right,
that.
their quarterback's done more in the playoffs than the Browns quarterback.
He also led the league in picks last year too.
But
But
everybody admits
he's
that.
still agreed.
But
Go ahead.
But
Go
more
ahead.
proven.
Where did they go in the playoffs last year?
They lost in the second round.
Okay. I really didn't know.
Deshaun Watson's got one playoff win.
Okay.
I love Deshaun Watson.
With that man right there.
But he's got to prove it in the playoffs when it matters.
So
just like everybody else.
now it goes from the receivers. Now it goes back to Deshaun.
No.
That's what you just
No,
said.
but the
you
point-
said Deshaun's got to prove it.
Yeah, he does, and so do the receivers.
Okay.
Right? Everybody, as a team, the Browns have to prove it. Why would you not want the best possible team you could have when you're competing with three excellent teams, including clearly the best team in football in Kansas City?
I am Switzerland. I'm with you. I don't care what they do. I'm fine either way.
I think we all agree.
I'm fine either way. If they get him or they don't get him, I'm still good.
I think we would all agree.
I'm good either way.
Even G, I think you'll agree with this. The Browns' wide receiving core as is pretty good.
Decent.
It's pretty good. It's better than it was. It's pretty good. But the bottom line is it's better with DeAndre Hopkins, and there's really no debate there.
So let me get to it. Y'all been talking. Y'all been talking.
I'm Switzerland.
And y'all been talking.
I'm good
and
either
you
way.
got your money off. Bottom line is this: the Cleveland Browns, no, it's not good enough. You came in last place last year.
That's right.
Last. Let's not act like they've had 3 or 4 seasons over 500 for the last 30 or 40 years.
And by the way, came in last place when the Steelers had a rookie quarterback, and the Ravens were missing Lamar half the season.
I can't believe y'all really.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me piggy off of that right quick. You're not. So the Browns had Deshaun Watson for 17 games last year.
7.
No.
Okay.
6,
okay.
whatever.
And Deshaun Watson came in and just played unbelievable for them 6 games.
No.
He was terrible.
So how in the world is a wide receiver gonna get off last year with dealing with 2 different quarterbacks, have to redo chemistry in the middle of a season with a quarterback that ain't played in 2 years?
Played 9
what are you
games.
talking about?
DeAndre Hopkins played 9 games.
We're not talking about
Who the hell
stats.
was his quarterback?
At least he played with him before.
Hey man, the goalpost.
Did he?
Yes, he been in Arizona for like 3
Yeah, but he was
years.
using
Colt
backup
McCoy
guys.
been there for like 10.
I don't care nothing about none of that.
Yeah.
Y'all keep bringing these stats
Go
up.
ahead.
And listen, at the end of the day, when you going out there and you trying to fight wars, you better have the best team you can have. I don't care about no feelings. And Tyvis understands this. He knows well and good.
Yeah.
He knows that. How many receivers Ohio State got? Do they stop recruiting receivers because
Nope.
they got Marvin? Oh,
Nope.
Did they stop recruiting receivers when they had Olave? Did they stop recruiting receivers when they had Jackson Smith? No, they keep going to get them. So if you can understand that, why would you sit here and say, I don't need this guy? You need everybody.
Wait a minute. Who said that they didn't need him?
You did.
That's not what I said. I said I'm good either way. That's what I said.
That's basically saying
I'm
you don't
good
need him.
either
They don't
way.
need him.
I think, first of all, how about this? You go break the bank for DeAndre Hopkins.
I got the money.
You got
break
all right,
the bank.
all right, you break no. You
I'll
take
tell you what.
He take the whole 14.
I got the bread.
He take the whole 14 million.
I got the bread.
Somebody, Dick Chubb go down. Who you signing?
Nobody.
Doesn't matter.
Oh,
It's
we
running
done.
back.
So we
Go-
just
go
gonna be
get your
chalk.
boy- go-
So we just chalk.
Go get Zeke.
How? With what money?
Zeke ain't getting no money.
With
There's
what
always
money?
a way. Tyvis, there's always more money.
How? Please enlighten me.
There's always a
How?
restructure
You
can do. What are you talking
have
about?
to leave at least some money just in
the
case.
pivot. No, you know why? You know why?
Yes,
Hold on.
you do.
But you can always
17
restructure.
Y'all don't understand. 17 games is a long season. It's not like the starting 11 is going to finish the
Tyvis,
season as
they
the starting
can set
11.
up the contract with DeAndre Hopkins where it's not even much against the cap
I
this
hear
year.
you. Why would
It's-
he take that? So he essentially playing for free?
But you jump in.
As long as he's getting paid, he don't care how
Yes, he does.
no,
What is wrong with you?
You jump
if
in.
he's getting paid, who cares when it goes against
Bull.
the cap?
Too much money ain't enough.
You're jumping to a whole nother conclusion. Talking about what if somebody else
Yeah.
get hurt.
I don't-
Injuries
my
is part.
God.
Injuries is part of all things.
Just
in
say
football.
y'all don't trust in DPJ. That's just what it is.
Bro, listen.
Just say you don't trust. What you need to, what y'all
DeAndre
really
Hopkins
need to,
is
what y'all
better.
really need to do is say y'all don't trust in DPJ. Y'all don't trust in Kevin Stefanski. That's what y'all need
That's
to tell
silly.
me. That's what y'all saying to me.
So then let's say
That's exactly what y'all telling
if
me.
we don't trust the coach, then the talent doesn't matter. If you say you want any better players,
It sounds to me that y'all don't trust the process at all.
But guess what?
I
no.
like the
How are you telling me
Tyvis, you
that
win
a
with
guy-
talent.
how you gonna tell me that? Like, listen, y'all act like I don't want D-Hop. That's first of all. Let's clarify that. I am fine. If they get D-Hop, great. If they don't get D-Hop, great. I'm still there. No. I don't care.
Well, we know his stance. My stance is you're not good enough to be talking about who you don't need. At the end of the day,
that's what Browns fans do all the time.
We do that all the time. I want everybody.
Yeah.
You know what rich
Go trade for Aaron Donald. Don't F around.
And you know what rich guys do? Rich guys like their wife. Rich guys like their mistress.
So what?
Rich guys like everybody.
So why stop there?
They take it all.
Why stop there? Why
they like your wife?
If that's the case, why not go get Joe Burrow or sign Justin Herbert? Why not stop there? We need to get them all. Let's load these positions.
We're not going to dignify that.
I mean,
well, look, why? That's y'all essentially
trade
saying
for
the
Aaron
same
Donald.
thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Trade for Aaron. Trade everybody. Let's get a whole new roster up there because we need to stack positions. Let's go get Jair, Patrick Surtain.
You're okay
Let's
with
go
mediocrity.
get all. I'm not okay with mediocrity.
You sound like one of these Browns
fans. Okay.
You sound like the Guardians fans last year, or the Cavs fans this year were like, our chemistry's good. I don't want to make a trade.
Yeah,
I don't want to mess with it.
They the same cats, right? How'd that work for you?
Yeah.
How they locker room chemistry?
How do I sound like that? That's because y'all act like I'm siding for D-Hop. That's the part that y'all I don't care.
You gotta be.
By the way,
at the end of the day,
are you an op or
don't
not?
care.
By the way, just got a call from the word soft from the dictionary. It said, "Don't call Jared Allen soft because it's insulting to soft." Stretch. That was a big stretch. It didn't. You try a joke sometimes, it doesn't always work.
Listen, why don't y'all trust DPJ?
Because he's not as good as DeAndre Hopkins.
He's not. Come on, man. We're not gonna be talking about third, fourth receiver.
Why do you say that?
He's just not.
What do you know that? I say that? Because it's a fact.
Because D-Hop has been in this league for quite some time.
You know that.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know
He's
that.
a Hall of Famer.
DPJ is still he's trending in the right direction.
I get okay. That's fine.
Because
because
DeAndre Hopkins is a special talent.
What if
and Donovan Peoples-Jones is a replaceable player. That's how I see it.
What if?
Yeah.
Okay. What if? Now let's play the game of what ifs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's all D-Hop is anyway. Is what if. So for y'all to say y'all don't speak that, you're lying.
Okay.
To
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's say.
Yeah.
That we trade DPJ away, and he becomes.
G and I both keep saying we wouldn't trade him, but okay.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
He turns out to be the next DeAndre Hopkins.
Then you made a mistake. You think that's likely?
I don't know.
What percentage chance?
See, this is the thing, because the only special thing about D-Hop is that he catches the ball. We didn't got into
That's pretty
debate.
Special.
That is very special. That's literally the name of the game.
Ask Anthony Schwartz how special that is.
Hey, listen, that's neither here nor there.
Right, okay.
That's literally the name of the game at YMCA.
There it is.
It's not that he runs the crispiest routes. It's not that he's a burner. It's none of that. It's that he catches the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
DPJ don't drop the ball, does he?
If that was all it is, if it was really that simple, then why is he going to the Hall of Fame?
Who? Hopkins?
Yeah.
Because he catches the ball with.
Yeah. By the way, how many years DPJ been in the league? He's been 3 years, right?
Correct.
Yeah, 3 years.
All right. DeAndre Hopkins had 800 yards, 2 touchdowns as a rookie, which basically is what DPJ did last year. His second year, he had 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns. And his third year, he had 1,500 yards and 11 touchdowns.
Let's just go ahead and stop.
When did he get DY?
Well, I'll tell you, man.
Let's just go ahead and just that's.
What else do I need to say?
Wait, say one more thing. What was his targets that year? What was his targets that year?
Let me tell you who his quarterbacks were rookie year.
I just want to know what this target.
Wait a second, I'll get to his targets.
Thank you.
His quarterbacks rookie year. Very special player.
Okay.
Is it Matt Shaw?
Very special.
Matt Shaw?
Matt Shaw.
Yeah.
And Case Keenum. Those were his 2 quarterbacks.
Case Keenum is a NFC quarterback.
His second
year. He's an NFC champion quarterback.
His second year, when he got 1,200 yards, his quarterback was the great Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, Fitzmagic, baby.
And his third year, when he had 1,500 yards.
These ain't no bums that you really calling out.
These guys ain't good.
I didn't say they're bums. But
I'm just saying.
They're just guys.
What I'm just saying is they're not bums. Go ahead.
Last one.
And his third year, when he had 1,500 yards, his quarterback was the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Hoyer.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And he's a legend around here.
And then he also caught passes from Tyvis' favorite quarterback, Ryan Mallett. T.J. Yates played 2 games.
Oh, man.
And even the great Brandon Whedon started 1 game.
Did he score with him?
These were the guys. The best quarterback in his first 3 years.
What did you?
The best quarterback was Matt Shaw of old.
Okay, so my question is, what are you proving?
My proof is DeAndre Hopkins was a superstar the moment he came into the league.
He had 800 yards.
Okay, the second year he came into the league. Donovan Peoples-Jones is a nice player. He's a nice player.
I agree.
I like him being on my team.
Okay.
If I don't have a better option.
Okay.
And I would keep him around. I'm not looking to get rid of him. But are the Browns signing him to an extension next year?
Probably not. Probably not.
So he's walking. So why not trade him for something?
Because I'm trying to win.
Today.
Now,
if
if I somehow could get him for a linebacker that was an improvement, I would trade him.
All right, what are you talking
But I'm
about?
only making a trade if it helps
So
me
you
this
okay
year.
with letting people walk for free?
No.
Guys walk for free all the time. It happens. It's
No,
part of
that's
the game.
dumb. And that's dumb.
McNuggets,
Go
what
ahead,
you got to
Vegas.
read?
Fifth